I did enjoy when I started. So basically, fast forward, graduation, finally, 2016, and I believe it was in May, did the graduation thing. I was so freaking happy. You guys just don't understand. Because I was a single mother. I was a teenage mother, single teenage mother. I had my first baby very, very young, but I always knew that my children deserved a mother, a parent, someone who was going to be there. So that's what I did. I did graduate high school and all that. I was working, as a mother, but I always knew that I wanted to go back to college. That was just something that I wanted to do. It's something about education. My mother was she didn't graduate, but she did go to college. Mind you, this is the 70s. I don't know what happened. She was like a semester away. She claims it was because I came along, but whatever. She may not have had the support system to continue her education, because back then in those days, moms were not having it. My mom, I won't say she didn't help me. She was my motivating factor, because, my mother, Miss Pat is her name. I love her dearly. She has some issues. Always had some issues. She drinks beer a lot. I'm not judging. I've gotten over that. But I feel like because I came along and she had to stop going to college, a lot of that played into her drinking. My childhood wasn't bad per se, but it could have been better. But one thing I have learned just from my mom's journey, that parenting does not come with a handbook. Life don't come with a handbook. You do it the best you can. Excuse me, guys. You do the best you can. She did what she could with the resources that she had at the time. I grew up, I wasn't abused. I wasn't, no, I won't say that. I wasn't abused in the traditional sense, I won't even say I was abused, because my mama whooped my behind, and at the time, I would have said, hey, yeah, this lady is abusing me, she beating the hell out of me. But as I got older and was with my children, I understood where that discipline played in when you're raising kids. Of course, as a child, you don't understand, like, this lady beat me because I made an F. But as you get older, you start to understand, it's not the fact that you got the F, is that your parent loves you this amount. He or she can see the potential in you and want you to do better. Especially if you're just, I wasn't a bad kid. I didn't get bad grades. I had a sister that was off the chain. I had to try to keep her, together, which sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. But, I got into typical trouble. Sometimes I stayed out when I got into my teenage years, but whatever. I didn't get many whoopings, as we call it in the black community, whoopings, but I did get some. I appreciate them today. I'm thankful for them, because they have made me the person I am today, and have helped me in my life every day, and also helped me to be a good mother, because without those situations where I was disciplined, I would not know when my children were coming up when to discipline them. I had no help. My mom was like, hey, you having these babies, you on your own. The first one you get a first pass, I'm going to help you, blah, blah, blah. She helped me, but she did discipline me at the same time, because I made a huge mistake. I got pregnant. I hid my pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. So it was a little, I won't say I was a disobedient teenager, but I did think I knew it all. And I did not. Clearly did not know it all. When sex come into play, it just does something to a girl, especially if you're out there and you don't know, you're not educated on sex, which I was. I didn't get educated until in the middle school. By then I was already pregnant. What is sex education when you already got a baby? But I digress. It is what it is. I love my mom. She went to FAMU. She was a journalism major, so she's very smart. And most of the times, like I said, I didn't get a lot of whoopings, but most of the times her discipline was books. Oh, you want to do X, Y, Z? You are being punished. Now you have to read A Time to Kill. At the time, I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I'm like, A Time to Kill? What the hell? I don't know. These books, I could barely even read. I was fourth grade, maybe at the time, third or fourth grade, I can, I'm doing good. I never got bad grades. I could read, but these were big adult books. But she made us read them, made us do book reports and report to her. I thank her for that, because now I have a love for books and I have a love for learning, and that what catapulted me to go back to school. I was working for years. My children, I raised them until I felt like they got to a point where they could exist on their own. So my oldest was 16 when I went back to work. To school. So, I went back to school. Sociology, that's something I'm passionate about. A lot of people say it's not any money in there. But, you know what? Society. Look at society today. We need people like me to help break down our issues and try to get us to come together and coexist. So I'm just twisting this last one while I'm talking. I'm going to take my little rat tooth comb, because I want to make sure it's not going to be straight, because this is natural hair, of course, but I want to make sure that I'm getting all of the strands together in this one section that I'm about to twist. So, yeah, I graduated, and the thing about education is, I didn't know before. I've always been smart, but I felt like my education was enlightenment. There's a lot of things that I thought I knew that I did not know, especially when it came to the black community. A lot of people don't feel like that's important, but you can exist in this world without education. Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people have been successful without, doing that. But it just brought me to a place where I was like, okay, now I understand why things happen the way they did. That's within the black community, because I'm black, obviously. But just period, how history throughout the years and the human being experience is so small compared to the history of the earth itself. It's like we've been here a nanosecond, but each generation passed on different things to the next generation, and people carry that. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's not. Racism, for example, that's something that's taught to the next generation. We are not born hating each other. It was a time and a point in my life where I was just, because my grandma, she grew up in a time where people were lynching black folks, so she was wary of white folks. I was wary of white folks. I still am to this day because of different situations, but I have changed that a little bit because I can understand, the history behind it, and know that not all white folks are like that. So now I'm just looking for my scissors. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Here we go. So now I've got these twisted, right? I got my shears right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this while looking at you guys. I'm just going to take the ends. See if I can show you guys. So you see how the ends get a little bit scraggly right about there. I'm actually going to cut it a little bit higher because I haven't had a trim since I graduated college. That was back in 2016. It's been 2 full years. So I'm going to do it right about there. I just clip it. It's not going to be even all over, and I don't care because I usually don't wear my hair down, and it's about that much hair, if you guys can see that. Especially not in the summer. I protective style during the summer. Let me throw this up. Fall time, winter time, I start wearing my braid outs and things because it's a little cooler in Florida by then. But Florida heat, y'all, this humidity ain't to be played with. So here we go. I'm gonna this is gonna be a 2-part. I see I'm already at 21 minutes. But I know YouTube how they do. So this one, can you see that? So just take your finger, roll down, and you will feel the difference when it gets a little thin, and then you can just feel where it's flat. That's where I'm gonna, right there. You can see in my palm, my hair, I'm gonna clip it right there. So here we go. I feel like I've been rambling, but it is what it is. No big, it's just a little bit. So now what I'm gonna do now, because it's been a while, I had my hair up in a protected style while I was working. I've been wearing wigs. I got a couple of wigs that I can show, about 4 wigs that I can show you guys, that I bought specifically for work at summertime. So I have been wearing that, and I have been washing my hair regularly and doing all of that, but I haven't did a real deep condition. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna add a little more leave-in. This is leave-in conditioner, by the way, guys. I don't know if I said that. But I'm just gonna add a little bit more, just a little, to the ponytails themselves, and then I'm going to take my shower cap and put it on. So I didn't take a lot.